Should we cancel out the...
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Saturday night. It is after hours. Get comfy. Get yourself a juice box. And get ready. Here we go.
Project all of that.
We are having fun. It is Small Business Saturday. And man, I tell you what, have you been downtown lately? The lights are beautiful.
They are. I seen them in the park last night. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot the park. I haven't been by the park. Tracy Park?
Yeah.
They've got them all up because they kind of do them in sections.
From what I've seen, look like
nice. And the Martins building, of course, those people that took over the Martins building, they've got the big tree up, and there's stuff on all the light poles. I think that's Portsmouth in bloom. Downtown looks great. Downtown looks great. So if we ever get out of this basement, we'll go back downtown and take a look at them. First up tonight, we missed him last week. We had something else. We ran a little long, so he was pretty mad at us, Baby Toots.
Ooh.
Yeah, he was pretty mad. So he is issuing his report right now. Baby Toots.
He, who, everybody. It's your favorite chubby-cheeked correspondent, Baby Toots, reporting live from my local news crib, where the bottles are warm, the binkies are clean, and, apparently, everybody's losing their marbles over missing packages. So, the story starts like this right here, Kay. It's almost 4 p.m., prime snack time, and police get a call saying there's a lady out here in Wayne Hills holding a knife like she's defending the treasure of the lost sippy cup. She's yelling that if anybody steals her porch packages, there's going to be some serious stabby consequences. Baby Toots does not support stabby, thank you very much. Witnesses say she's rocking a black, red, and white Jordan hoodie. Very stylish, very sporty, very, I'm not taking nonsense today. So, the cops rush over, thinking they're walking into an episode of CSI Cranky Porch Edition. But nope, big twist. The witnesses are like, actually, that all happened up the street on Kendall Avenue. And also, she wasn't threatening anybody else. She was kind of threatening her own self. Baby Toots has intrigued my babies. Ma'am, are you okay? Do you need a nap? I've got your nose. So the biggies in blue go knocking on the lady's door. That there was for Papa Toots. Anyway, there they were, waiting for her to answer, but she does the classic toddler move. Hears the knock, covers the eyes, and hopes the snakes and ghosts go away. After no answer, officers clear the scene, probably confused and craving a biggie snack. Now, listen up, my little crib crew. Baby Toots knows it's frustrating when someone steals your packages. One time, my juice box delivery was late, and I almost threw myself on the floor and gave them 1-star wah. But guess what? Grabbing a knife and yelling at invisible pirates ain't the answer. The biggies in blue say instead you should. Use secure delivery or pickup lockers. Get a doorbell camera. Baby Toots loves watching those videos of sparkles of chalk dust blowing up all over them pirates. And if someone's stealing your box of goodies, call the police, not Jack Sparrow, because the only pirate Baby Toots approves of is the kind that says, "Arr," and gives away treasure, and also plays in a band and also makes bad choices in girlfriends. That's all from your adorable anchorman, Baby Toots. Protect your package, protect your sanity, and remember, sometimes all you need is a good thumb. Back to the wind behind my britches.
What in the world? Wind beneath my wings. How do we end up being the wind behind his britches?
That'd be you, not me.
Oh my gosh, baby toots. Oh. But Porch Pirates, this is the time for Porch Pirates. And
Wasn't there a story just the other day where somebody stole a woman's child's like protective helmet thing?
yeah, we did the story. Good on you. Yeah, child's protective helmet, Summit Street, I believe it was. Um, and for years, oh my goodness, at least 5 years, we have offered our pickup location, our box at the UPS store, to folks that they want to use it for packages. They can use it, and I got hate for that. They were like, "Oh, Craycraft wants to go through your mail." Now, how the hell do you jump from I'm trying to do a good deed, prevent porch pirates. It's in a safe and secure location. All you got to do is just go in, say your name, they'll hand you your package, to Craycraft's just trying to have his own Christmas at everybody's expense. Freaking morons. Am I supposed to say that? Am I allowed to say that?
I don't know. You don't want to be Trump.
Oh yeah, we got one of those coming up. Oh, thank you, Baby Toots, for that report. And I do appreciate you mentioning knocking on the lady's door. Did that just for me. And I was, I got the report and I'm singing, knocking on the lady's door. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, you can't get a copyright strike.
That's heaven's door, Mark.
Huh?
It's heaven's door.
I know, but they were knocking on the lady's door, so
Okay,
we did
okay.
knock.
Just making sure you weren't
on the lady's door. It could be. That was very, very fair. Very fair. All right, folks, moving right along. This is Small Business Saturday. And we want to share with you, this is only when we do these after hours podcasts that we give this amazing coupon code. And so we want to have you watch these two real short videos, and you can celebrate Small Business Saturday as well as Cyber Monday, because we fall into both categories there. So let me have you take a look at these short messages, and then we have a very special guest that is joining us live. So let's look at these short messages.
At SCDN, our main product is the SCDN Evening Newsletter. You get everything we publish each day delivered straight to your inbox. Beat the algorithm, support a local business. Get articles, stories, and investigations that nobody else covers. SCDN is number one for a reason, and that reason is you.
Bless me with the sunshine. Bless me with the evening time. Bless me with a child's smile. Bless me for just a little while. I could use a blessing, Lord. Just a little blessing, Lord.
So I guess that one was a little loud. Austin said we got to turn it down. I was just so excited. That's local band South of Sundays. And I'd encourage you to go to SCDN Homegrown Radio and support all of our wonderful local artists, writers, musicians, production crew. It's super important to us to highlight those amazing folks. So that was South of Sundays. Okay, so we have a guest that's going to join us live, and I'm not sure what she's going to talk about. She just said, I need to speak to you. So we're gonna find out.
As you see him looking at me, this is usually the time that he starts getting his finger over that bleep button.
Yeah, yeah. So, so this is our head writer and the content director of everything that you see on our website. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the one and only Sin Mackley. Hello, Sin.
Hello, Mark. But, let's talk about what my actual position is here. Because I think what my actual job is to put the brakes on what I like to call the Craycraft Express. You are the Craycraft Express, right?
Yeah, I've been called that. Yeah, by you, and now it's catching on.
You get a little excited sometimes about things, and you go barreling in. Most recently, this whole elevator issue at Buckeye Towers, and you were rightfully, whipped up. That's a lot of people in a terrible situation, and you're like, barreling out there, full tilt, demanding action, using cuss words and causing people to rebuke you.
Yeah, I got rebuked. I did.
Well, now there's like people like my aunt would not tolerate the F word ever. So, even though I tried to say, that is actually not really a curse word because you're not taking the Lord's name in vain, didn't fly. But I wanted to talk about how in this situation, I kind of laid some breaks down on you, and I think we ended up coming up with something a little more valuable because of that.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and tell the folks about said breaks.
Okay. Now I am agree with you. I 100%, and I said this to you, back you that there can be an issue with out of town landlords, that landlords can be a problem, that this is an issue, but you were coming down really hard and, demanding some action. And one of the things I said to you was, remember the courthouse? Remember when the elevators were out for 2 months? I had done some research then, and even then we talked about that it was part of a much broader crisis.
Yes, and I agree that it was a much broader crisis, but I was dealing with the crisis at hand, and the trapped hostages. I'm still saying they're freaking trapped hostages from a predatory company. So I was zero focused in on that. Plus, I wanted to. Yes, I did use some colorful language in one video, for sure. And that I got some compliments on that. I know we got rebuked in the name of Jesus, but I also got some compliments on that. So weigh that out.
Well, I don't disagree with you that about predatory companies can move in outside of and take advantage of buying buildings, but I also, one of the reasons I think that some of these buildings, we've seen some of the downtown buildings go for nothing, just given away. And we're like, why do they do that? Well, part of it is because we have learned a lot of these buildings need a few $100,000 in elevator upgrades, and people are kind of happy to usher them along. For example, the Portsmouth City building, we learned this week from Commissioner Powell, they've got a 30-week wait before they get elevator fixed in that building. And I mean, nobody's holding out the money. They're ready to spend it, but that's just the wait to get the job done. And
that city building is a tad over budget. But yeah, so and I get your point. Austin knows this. We've got 6 high-rise senior living buildings here in town, plus the old hospital by Kroger's, which is now a nursing home. I don't know if their elevators are working or not. But
Last time I was there, they was, but the staff is not nice people. They're mean.
well, but then the Alexandria house kind of is hit and miss a little bit on their elevators. So we do, you're right. And we went way down the rabbit hole, Sin. Tell us about how we finally got a hold of somebody from Otis to talk to us.
Now, Otis is the largest elevator servicing company basically in the world, and elevator company. And they do a lot of servicing. And we were able to get in touch with someone from them because we want to talk about this situation and a situation in general. And what he told us is kind of scary. Gentleman is like, yeah, about once elevators hit around the 20-year mark, you start getting a problem where you can't get parts for them anymore. And things start breaking. And he told us like 33% of the elevators in the US are at that 20-year mark. And in about 10 years, it's going to be double that. And the problem is a lot of these older elevator companies went out of business. So you can't just order a part from them. And this was the problem they had at the courthouse. Now, Otis is not servicing Buckeye Towers, but they did do the courthouse. And they said the problem you hit, the parts don't exist anymore. All you can do is take the part you think is broken out, send it to a machine shop, and have somebody there try to replicate it, then send it back, put it in, hope it works. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, because the person at that machine shop isn't a person who's worked for that company or had experience maybe even working on that particular brand of elevator. So it becomes hit and miss. And then when you put it in, you hope. It's like with a car or a refrigerator, you're hoping that's what the problem was. But because the thing's 20 years old, there's probably some other parts broken too.
Yeah, you're right. There's the and it's the same thing people can relate when you get a new key for your old car. That new key doesn't always work. You got to scrape it on the ground and wear it down a little bit. And so if you get new parts fabricated, they may be perfect when the elevator was new, but things wear down and so it may not fit exactly right. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. And I do want to say, and that was sort of the timeline that the company that Buckeye Towers management said was that they had ordered a drive. They had it manufactured in Maryland, custom manufactured, got to New Boston. They couldn't get it to work with the elevator system. And then the mechanic there was like, oh, we found a bunch of problems with this drive. Then they had to ship it back for more tweaking. And they said once they kind of get that tweaked, they're hoping they'll have some idea what the timeline, and that they're also trying to get some estimates on how to fix that second elevator that's also busted. And I mean, I don't know. What the guy from Otis told us is what places have to start doing is they have to work on their elevator modernization plan before their elevator breaks. But most places haven't been doing that.
Yeah, that was a new word we learned. Was sounds like a perfectly good a modernization plan. But I want to go back to my outrage at Buckeye Towers. I mean, I yes, this is an issue, and I totally agree with everything you said. Except, don't we still have a humanitarian crisis at Buckeye Towers with people having to? I mean, our blessed biggies in blue, as Baby Toots would say, is literally carrying grandmas and grandpas up and down the steps. It's not. They're not slick yet, but it's going to be. And we've got home health care workers. We've had several people report to us that are being mean to the people that live there, literally call them, and the quote was lazy for not just getting out there and walking those steps. What say you?
I 100% agree with you with that. And I think we are looking at this problem from what the guy was telling us, we know there have been other elevator issues. And in fact, in one of the comments on this, lady was saying that she worked at King's Daughters in Ashland, and they had an elevator out, and it took forever to get it fixed. And the elevator tech told her the same thing. Not only is it a parts shortage, there is a machinist shortage. There is an elevator repair tech shortage. So, and some people said, well, then put in a new elevator. The weight on that is also tremendous because there's an elevator mechanic shortage. And I think it is going to blow up around. We have how many older buildings with old elevators have been converted into senior and disabled housing?
That's true. We counted, we could be wrong. We counted 6 plus the nursing home. What say you, Austin, with the delineation between the humanitarian crisis at Buckeye Towers and the just around the corner, 30,000 view look at this is gonna keep happening.
Well, they've already said they've had elevator issues in the past. So why wasn't this addressed in the past when it broke the last time?
You mean Buckeye Towers?
Yeah.
Yeah, but now Sin's drawing out more broadly to talk about all the other high rises in town. So what's your advice to the property managers and owners of those high rises? We're talking Hearth Apartments, Alexandria, Biggs, place on Market Street.
You would think if you're purchasing a building, no matter what the price is, if you're purchasing the building with the idea of putting a senior living place in there, elevators, stairs, safety things to get people from the top to the bottom safely would be some of the first things you fixed.
What about the people that, it's current management? I don't know that they're gonna be sold. What can current management do right now? They're gonna have to dip into their pockets a little bit unless they have some kind of service plan. And Sin, we talked to I can't remember his name, Jove something, but he talked about having these up-to-date maintenance plans. Is that something that a property manager should be held highly responsible for, especially at this time?
Yeah, and you would think you can either dish out the little bit of money to fix an elevator, or something bad can happen in that building and you get hit with however many death lawsuits, and that little bit of money becomes really big money.
Well, one of the issues is it ain't a little bit of money. The very nice gentleman from Otis, he said, I can't give you prices, but you can look around and find them. And an elevator modernization program is about $150,000 to $200,000. Replacement elevators, which some people were saying, well, replace them. You have to have a system that fits your existing shaft, which it might not. So then you might need to do a completely different build out. And even on those, you're looking at months and months. There is a wait for repairs. There is a wait list for modernization. And the only thing that could really help you immediately with this stuff is a time machine that you could go back, and whoever owned that place 20 years ago would start with a yearly modernization program and have something upgraded. Because what the gentleman was telling us, the best way is you start years and years out, and then you just start updating it one piece at a time, one piece at a time, one piece at a time. And then eventually you have almost a completely rebuilt system. But you also need to do that when you have multiple elevators, because otherwise, and he had told us this is not the only situation that they've seen where it's the only way. It's much more prevalent in big cities with lots of high rises. And I had done a lot of researching, especially in New York. And they were talking at one time, at any time, 17-18% of elevators in public housing aren't working. Or 20% of the elevators for the subway aren't working at one time. And it's considered a big crisis there too. And you're just hitting this obsolescence combined with nobody knows how to make the parts anymore. And like the solution has to start. It's like everybody would love like a villain, and one thing you could do, like have the state take it over, or file a lawsuit, or have this happen. But almost none of these actions you can take is going to get you the thing you want, because the thing you want doesn't necessarily exist, because more people need to go to school and want to become elevator mechanics, and we need more machinists and more parts made locally. And again, it's the preventative thing. Like if you're a person who takes super good care of your car, and you get the sparks plug changed when you're supposed to get the spark plugs changed, and you get your tune up and your oil, and you do all of this, it's going to go a lot smoother, and you're going to know when something's wrong. But we can't go back in time and make these people do it. And it's almost like, I think it's almost we need an EMA plan for when this is going to happen, unless we've got some place to move all of these people out of a building when it goes down, and there's months and months to look at it. Carrying them up and down the stairs is not a long-term solution. And I mean, remember, one thing I noted that I thought was kind of alarming, and I realized we're talking about a town that New Boston doesn't have a lot of tall buildings. They had to borrow that lift chair to carry people up and down stairs from Portsmouth Ambulance. These fire departments and things, if they're going to be the ones that do this when these things happen and this crisis continues to cascade, they need to be ready with equipment.
That's a really good point. Austin said while you were talking, he had a.
I said I wasn't going to disagree, but I'm going to disagree a little bit. So I want you to think, if you had just spent $8 million on a building, 150 grand in repairs is going to be nothing compared to the 5 to 20 million that you're going to get hit with if that building catches on fire, God forbid, and injury happens to all those people.
No, I mean, I agree with you. But I'm just saying, you buy that building, you decide to replace that elevator shaft completely, you're going to have to shut that building down and move those people out, because it's going to, again, it's like a 30-week project. They're doing that big modernization project at the Portsmouth City building. That's a 30-week project. Now, fortunately, I think most people are able to get up and down, and I don't know if that building has another elevator or not. It probably does. But if it doesn't, most people are going to be able to get up and down the stairs, or you can bring something to them. But if you're buying that building and they're looking at a project like that, if you're looking at months, your option there is to move people out, which, I mean, maybe that should have been the option. You buy these old buildings, and sometimes people do buy old buildings and have people move and renovate them, but they usually don't go back to being lower income housing and something, unless they got them a nice big tax break for a loan. But the minute if they took possession of it and did it, it would still be to fix, because nobody started this elevator modernization program. Whoever was managing it before that years ago, I think they need to fix it. They need to do it, but it's going to probably, from what the gentleman from Otis told us, it takes a long darn time.
Yeah, it takes a long time, and unfortunately, we have all these folks that are stuck, trapped, hostages.
Yes.
I keep saying it. I can't help it. You're not gonna stop that part of the Craycraft Express.
No,
I'll watch my F-bombs. I was just being impassioned. But yeah, this is a humanitarian crisis. We had, and I hadn't shared this with you yet. We had legal opinions sent to us by an attorney in California who became aware of this situation and sent me all kinds of stuff regarding ADA compliance and civil liberties and all kinds of stuff. There are attorneys all over the state, but now we've got attorneys in California that are looking specifically at Buckeye Towers and how these people are stuck. And we could see some legal action. What do you think about that?
I agree with you that they're in trouble there, not for people not being able to get out of there, but all the lawsuits in the world, maybe they'll get that drive shaft this next go round through. Maybe the drive shaft they ship back will work, and they'll be able to start an elevator modernization program. But even if the lawsuits come through and they win, if the parts and stuff that people are milling aren't able to make the parts and it still needs to be really replaced, that's not going to change the timeline on it. And what they would probably end up making them pay for is maybe relocating those people to other housing. And there could be damages with that too. But that could be the thing they end up responsible for, is that it's not a fit place to live, so you're going to have to pay their moving expenses and get them in somewhere. Because we talked to the gentleman from Otis, and he was actually kind of, because we did ask, if you pay more, can they speed it up? And he was like, that's really not the issue with these obsolete old elevator parts. It's actually being able to fabricate them. So why they could be responsible for it not being habitable, what could end up happening if they can't get those parts, what they're going to be responsible for is relocating people.
We're gonna close the discussion on that. This is gonna just keep going and keep going and
see, you say I'm saying you're not right about it being unacceptable. I 100% say it is unacceptable. I'm just saying that most of what people are hoping might be the solution, bring in the state, file a lawsuit, make them do that. That if what the gentleman from Otis told us, the issue is that the parts or the skills to fix some of these elevators, especially some of these, I don't want to say off-brand, but companies that are no longer in business that built the elevators, if what you need to fix it isn't there, nobody can make them do it. If the part for your refrigerator no longer exists, your refrigerator's not salvageable, even though somebody's responsible to, even if you have a warranty that somebody promised to fix it for you, and the only mediation isn't them fixing it, it's getting you a different refrigerator. Because I have seen, my husband worked for a place that does service companies, and somebody's got a 7-year warranty that they purchased, but the part's no longer there on that fridge because that company stopped making it. What they have to do is get you a different fridge, because there's no amount of you being responsible in the world is going to create that part or that thing you need still exists. And so what they may end up being responsible for doing is finding these people different places to live.
I'm telling you what, Sin Mackley, we thank you so much, and we agree.
We agree. We disagree.
Yeah. And I really appreciate that you point out that there's a looming issue across the city, not just Buckeye Towers. I was focused on Buckeye Towers, and you're focused on the bigger picture, and I think they both complement each other, and they're worth a serious public discussion. And so I appreciate that. I noticed before I get you out of here, I'm going to ask you. Can you stay while we switch over to some stuff Austin brought? And can you stay, because there's a story I think you might be interested in a couple of minutes? Can you stick around for that?
I just love spending my Saturday night with you. So sure.
Oh man! But I was asking about, since it's after hours, where's your glass of wine?
I had this made during the pandemic. I only drink in the afternoon, because remember when the governor used to have those 2 p.m. press conferences every day, and people started joking because they were staying at home and having wine with the wine. I had to listen to 2 bazillion press conferences about COVID, so I had a special shirt made for it. And I don't drink on Newsday, because Easter Sunday, when he announced everything was going to be closed down, we were having Easter dinner, just the two of us alone, no family, zooming in with the family. And I killed a whole bottle of wine. And then the governor decided to announce on Easter that he was extending the lockdown and all these new regulations. And I was like loaded up with wine trying to write these new stories. So
Oh, the behind the scenes, what we do.
who has a press conference on Easter Sunday?
Oh, that's great. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's Sin Mackley, and she's kindly agreed to stick around with us for
Sober.
I don't know. I mean, Johnny Carson, he always had coffee mugs, but I hear they were a little spiky.
This is like some coffee from the lofts. It's perfectly legit.
Oh, plugging the Lofts coffee. That's fantastic. Yeah, they do make a good roast. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Sin Mackley, and thank you. And I'm gonna put you in the backstage and bring you back in just a minute. Oh, Sin. She's spunky, man. She's spunky. I like it. Austin, my guy.
I didn't do it.
Last week we said, because I always kind of know what these stories are going to be ahead of time, and I don't get a chance to genuinely kind of react. And I said it'd be fun if, like, you would do, and you came through.
He basically gave me homework.
Yeah, a little homework.
He's like, find us stories to react to next week. You got this.
Yeah. So we'll play the first story that was brought to us by Austin, something he want to talk about. Now this harkens back to, if you watched last week, little piggy. Little piggy.
Shush, Piggy, shush.
Oh, man. All right. So this is an offering by Austin. Let's take a look.
In Washington, D.C., U.S. officials say that the suspect worked very closely with the CIA in Afghanistan for years, that he was vetted, and the vetting came up clean.
He went cuckoo. I mean, he went nuts. And that happens, too. It happens too often with these people. You see them. But look, this is how they come in. This is how they're standing on top of each other, and that's an airplane. There was no vetting or anything. They came in unvetted. And we have a lot of others in this country. We're going to get them out. But they go cuckoo. Something happens to them.
Your DOJ IG just reported this year that there was thorough vetting by DHS and by the FBI of these Afghans who were brought into the U.S. So why do you blame the Biden administration?
Because they let them in. Are you stupid? Are you a stupid person? Because they came on a plane along with thousands of other people that shouldn't be here, and you're just asking questions because you're a stupid person.
I'm telling you. Look, so how you feel about that? Are you stupid? Can you see Scotty Powell answering the question at this commissioners meeting? What are you, stupid? You stupid person. Merritt Smith, maybe he could pull it off.
Did you see how pissed he got when she pointed out that his administration let him in and was like,
Yeah, he got, oh man, what are you, stupid? A lot of you may know, I also do political consulting and strategy, and there's a big campaign that I've been asked to do in a different state, actually, coming up for the primary. So I'll be doing some broadcasts from hotel rooms, but I'm going to try my best to keep my candidate from going, what are you, stupid, whenever the reporters ask tough questions. So yeah, that's oh man. All right, so you brought us another one. Hey, this guy, hey, you give him some homework and he does it.
the blackberries?
Yeah, let's take
From the FBI's Atlanta office Friday, agents with the Bureau and the GBI found 419 kilos of methamphetamine hidden in a shipment of blackberries. They were inside a refrigerated truck parked outside of a home in southeast Atlanta. That is the same day in Hall County that sheriff's deputies and FBI agents found another refrigerated truck with another blackberry shipment stuffed with 300 kilos of meth. Investigators arrested 3 men. Officials believe those drugs came into the U.S. from Mexico.
Okay. Blackberries. Meth and blackberries.
And I just, how much, I mean, I don't know the price of said drug. How much money did they just have sitting in a truck outside their house? 719 kilos, 1,600 pounds.
And it takes the work of not only the meth producers, but the Blackberry Pickers Union. they gotta pick a lot of blackberries.
I'm just gonna say that whoever was the creator of said drug is not gonna be happy with the people that just left it sitting outside of their house.
Why couldn't it have been Molly?
That's not helping.
Yeah, Blackberry Molly. Just throw you. No, can't do that. We're not promoting that at all. I was talking about our friend Molly. Yeah.
Be one heck of a blackberry puree.
Oh man.
Puree.
Yeah, make a blender smoothie out of it. Oh my goodness.
I'm just gonna
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to one that actually we were gonna do last week, but we ran a little late, and we have our all-star. I'm looking for words, Sin. I know you're backstage. Historian was the first one that come to mind, but you have this brain. She can't respond because she's backstage, but she can hear me. You have this brain that is unbelievable. Like if ChatGPT had a big sister, it would be. I mean, she knows because we pay for extra. We pay for extra server space, just so we can keep a library of all these articles, and she knows every article. I can bring up something and I can say, I think I remember something, and man, she'll send me boom, 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 and then there it goes. So this is something that I want to get her take on. I want to get your take on. This is very interesting. And again, I wanted to play it last week, but we ran long on time. And this is something that I really think is worth a conversation. And we have all the right folks here, all the right brains here to have the discussion. So here we go.
Ohio has 0 safe parking programs operating anywhere in the entire state. What is Ohio actually doing about this accelerating crisis? Enforcement and sweeps. That's the strategy. Columbus recently shut down multiple homeless encampments across the city, displacing dozens of people living in vehicles and tents with nowhere else to go. The Community Shelter Board scrambled to assist those impacted, but as their representatives openly admit, most people simply move from one location to another because no alternatives exist. Clear the visible homeless population from public view, declare victory, and ignore the fact that you've solved absolutely nothing. The Ohio choice. So here's where we are right now. Ohio's RV homelessness crisis is not an accident. It's not bad luck. It's not the result of individual moral failures or poor personal choices. It's the predictable, inevitable result of specific policy decisions made by people in power. Rent increases faster than wages can possibly keep pace. Housing construction lags decades behind population demand. Enforcement gets prioritized over services every single time. Infrastructure doesn't exist to support people experiencing homelessness, and people who are trying their absolute hardest to survive with dignity get punished for being visible. That's the current system. Clear the visible homeless population from public view, declare victory, and ignore the fact that you've solved absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I wanted that hit. I wanted that to hit again. that you saw all this and you saw absolutely nothing. So let's bring in our expert. If she's available, looking good, just give me a thumbs up on the backstage if you're good. That was a good thumbs up. Let's bring her on. All right, so first I'm gonna toss it to Austin first. What was your gut reaction to that? And it's Ohio, but then closer to home. What are you thinking there?
Well, to me, honestly, it just kind of irritates me.
It irritates you.
We know we have the homeless camps.
Mm-hmm.
We know we have people living under bridges in broken down cars and this and that. But we're spending more money on rehab centers than giving the homeless a warm place to live. Me and you personally ran we got hotel rooms in the summer just so people can come in and cool off because it was too hot outside.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing is I've been working with literally every member of city council, except for of course, absolutely the new ones, but previous city council members. I've talked to them all individually about how to stop this cycle, because we have warming centers in the winter, cooling centers in the summer. And so how can we have something that is just automatic, that it can heat, it can cool, and just within a day, city services can put something up while we figure out other forms of transition. I've talked to Councilperson Cole about some really good ideas as far as the homeless task force, and before there was a homeless task force, as far as helping people maybe transition. We offered at our own expense to assist with some of those transition issues. So it's a never ending cycle, and this is where I'm going to bring in our analyst, and she knows the law enforcement side of it. So let's bring Sin back here. And all right, Sin.
Fired up. I'm about to start my express. One thing that irks me about that video is it does not address, from where I can see, where most of those people living in cars and most of those people living in those situations come from. Those people come from the fact that they shut down all the inpatient mental hospitals. Looking at like police records and things that come again and again, almost all of the people who, and I will say that, I'll say almost all, and I will generalize, what we look at mostly on these calls are people who have ongoing mental health problems, who 30 years ago would have been in a residential mental health facility receiving treatment. But they decided to shut down all the mental hospitals in favor of what they call community-based care, which tends to mean they're the community's problem. The community can just deal with them while they're running around naked on the levee screaming at the top of their lungs. And for a lot of these people, letting them stay in a camper or getting them an apartment isn't going to work without supervision. They need residential help. And the other thing is, you and I both know, Mark, that a big chunk of the homeless population, especially the ones that get arrested, are people who are on probation and parole. Now, technically, you aren't allowed to be homeless while you're on probation or parole. They've told us that. The probation system has told us that. The judges have told us that. And they're supposed to look out for you to make sure you're getting what you need. That's why you have probation and parole officers. But we see these people time and again who are on probation or on parole get arrested 15, 16 times, says right on the court records they're homeless. Do they put them back in a facility? Do they find them in a halfway house? No. And then the judge has told us, well, I can't put them back in jail. That would have to be the parole board. Or I'm not the person that, we can't just revoke their probation for being homeless, even though the condition of that And so while like that video was like, it's because housing is expensive, but so much of that is because they have abandoned the duties they already have to people. There are supposed to be, there are places for people who are homeless and on parole and probation to go. You've already got funding to look after these people, but what you've done is clear your jail numbers and like, look, our population is right where we want it because these people are living in tents. And oh, look, we have all residential, all community-based mental health care because we don't have any of these people in facilities and nothing to do with them. And more than anything they're doing, that if they were to provide actual mental health facilities for people who are in crisis and actually have take people who are on parole and probation and make sure they have a place to go, that would take such a chunk out of that population. It would be incredible. But the largest contributing factor, drugs are a huge contributing factor, but the absence of inpatient mental health care, an appropriate number of beds, is such a big factor, and it's nothing it's nothing anybody's willing to address, and every political party is in on it, and every administration over the past 30 years in this state, no one's done anything about it.
So
Rant over.
I love it. No, this is rant time. So Austin's got one, then I've got one. So let's do it, buddy.
So the one I was thinking was, we did a story not too long ago when they were purchasing the hotel on the trail.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that we discovered were they were bringing people in for the rehab centers. They were either failing out or getting out of the rehab center. And then the rehab center wasn't giving them the help to get back to where they were from. So we had people coming from Huntington, West Virginia, Columbus, all the way up in, where was it, like Louisville, Kentucky, or Lexington, Kentucky, bringing them here for the rehab center and just being like, okay, go away.
Well, and it's one of those things where if they, some of them are there mandated by court. So if they escape, then they go back to their jurisdiction, and then they face escape charges and whatever other penalties that they have in their thing. So they call the police when somebody runs away. Now the other one was the rehab over in Kentucky in Dr. Proctor's old house. They were, and Sin can remember this, I've got you on mute just for a second, dear, but they were, you can let me know, remind me, they were bringing people over and just dropping them off at Kroger's.
Yes, and the other people that we talked to, we actually talked to a couple people that graduated out of the rehab center.
Yep.
And they just said that they would drop them off at like the Super 8 hotel, or they would drop them off at Speedway and literally just chuck them out of the car with their bag and say, figure it out. And they wouldn't give them a bus ticket. They would give them a food voucher.
Well, that's exactly what I talked about with Councilperson Cole, is developing a program that includes a little stipend to get somebody kind of started. So we'll take you to a place that has better resources than we do, and we give you a little stipend to get started out, so you can get a Slim Jim and a Yahoo, and begin the process. Another thing is ultimately is, can you go home? Some people have broken their relationships to the point where they can't go home. So can you go home first? And not necessarily home, but to your hometown where somebody that knows you and loves you can check into you and make sure that you're doing okay. And so that was, and I don't mind to share, that wasn't in strictest confidence. It was a discussion on how we can do this, but something needs to happen. I'm going to bring Sin back on. This is unsustainable. Don't you think, Sin?
Yep. And I mean, and then they were talking about, you'd be better off in a rehab facility where you're from, where your relatives can come visit you, and there can be some support. But I wanted to ask you, Mark, if you remember our buddy from the bus station that got put on the wrong bus.
Yes, I remember. He was that lasted about a week, didn't it?
It was more than a week. But for people that don't remember the story, and we were the only ones that figured it out, this dude, yay, this dude got dropped off at the bus at the BP. He was freaking out because he was in the wrong town. He and called the police. He's like, I just got out of prison. I'm supposed to be in Ironton. I got left off at the wrong place. I don't have anything. I got a few bucks on me. I don't know what to do. And they're like, well, we can't help you, buddy. Why don't you go down to the the hotel, go down to the Royal Inn. They'll let you in for the night. So we did that. Okay, that was that one report. And then the dude turns up later. He calls the police. He's like, he's in a homeless camp. He's freaking out because, he's been in jail. He doesn't like hanging around the homeless camp. He wants somebody to help him. They can't do anything. They're like, yep, sorry, buddy. Well, people start reporting, seeing him around places like this guy. He's carrying his stuff stuff's in garbage bags. And we note different times people reporting this guy looks upset, them stopping him. And at one point, he calls the police because they won't let him in the homeless shelter because he's a registered sex offender and he's got nowhere to go. And they're just like, can't help you, buddy. And then it's ding, 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 ding. But because at no point did they arrest him, was his name ever in any of these police reports. And I'm like, we got to find out who this guy is and where he got out of jail. And people kept reporting this guy was distressed. He kept calling the cops because he was freaking out because the homeless people were scaring him. And Mark was even, and I don't know if you remember this, Mark, you're like, if we can figure out who he is, I'll go give him a ride to Ironton. You even called the police and said, can you give me his name? I'll help the guy.
That's true. That's true.
And then he was like camping out behind a school. They found him camping out behind the library. People were commenting that they were bringing him food because we were covering it a bit once we figured out he was a registered sex offender. And even though there wasn't a name, we could tell who he was by the way people described him. And he had his garbage bags and he kept telling everybody he was in the wrong place. Then finally, Mark was going to drive around and look for him. He got arrested for parole violation, which he was clearly in violation of his parole because he hadn't checked into his parole officer in Ironton because he was here. And we were able to look up his name and we were able to match up. He had been released from prison the day that guy said he was released from prison. He'd done 10 years on like 21 counts of child pornography. He'd been out camping behind the schools and things, looking for a place to stay. And we could not figure out how come when the guy told police, hey, I just got out of prison, they should be able to look him up the same as I can and note that this guy just got out on child pornography charges. Why could no one give him a ride to where his housing was waiting for him? Or why could nobody from that county come and get him? And he's just out wandering the streets and like nobody cares.
And it was Ironton. It wasn't like it was, halfway to Morgantown, West Virginia. It was freaking Ironton.
Honestly,
that was what was making me so crazy is let's just go get the guy, take him home because he's going to get in trouble. And what? He got in trouble for violating.
But he's like camping out at the public. Well, I mean, he was looking for a place to go, and everybody kept moving him along. And there were people bringing him stuff and trying to help us. And I'm like, what if somebody took him home? And I feel, they let him out of jail. He, as far as I know, after he got out, didn't do anything wrong. But it probably wouldn't be a good idea if somebody were to take him home where they had kids or something. And at least he was, I guess, he had his little phone and he was up front. But our homeless camps were scaring him. He liked prison better, apparently. So, but
let me give this over to Austin. He's got some ideas. Austin, what's going through your mind as you hear us talking? And I've seen you doing this. And so what's on your mind, friend?
I don't even remember.
You don't remember why? Well, normally when you do something like this, you remember what caused you to do that.
The original one, the one I was like, you cut me off. Rude, bad Mark.
I'm sorry.
I was thinking about
I just don't want the echo, so I'm trying to hit the mute so there's no echo.
The one I was thinking about when I originally did that was if these people were in the rehab center and they're graduating out and they're going to be there for 2-3 months, let them do work around the rehab center, pay them for such, and then that money that they save up while working there, buy them the ticket back to where they belong.
Right. So
that way they can get maintenance on the building. They can learn life skills. They can learn skills to help them stay out of trouble. And they have a way to save up to make the money to get back home.
And, they have a little bit of that with TCC. They have vocational programs. And that was the original idea behind them purchasing the Mitchell Lace program. And they told me, and I appreciate Aaron kind of explaining it to me, but basically they wanted the door that you come in, which now is day one, but originally the plan was to have day one in this door. You go through the system, then you graduate to the second half of the building, which is all vocational. They would help you get driver's license. They would help you with GEDs, and they would help you with trades. And then when you come out the other side, the other door, you got yourself, identification, you got yourself a GED, you've learned a trade, and now, ta-da, you're a productive member of society. So they literally had it planned, and I loved the plan, but the Mitchell Lace issue is a whole nother issue. So now those things are kind of scattered across town, but that was the original plan.
All right, original plan. How long have we worked together?
I think we're coming up on our 5th year anniversary.
Okay. How many times have our original plans worked?
2.
In 5 years.
yeah.
You need a plan, then you need a backup plan, you need a backup plan for your backup plan, and so on and so forth. Yeah. Not just drop somebody off at Speedway at 3 o'clock in the morning and literally just be like, okay, go F yourself.
Or just
let in our. I caught myself. You seen that, right?
Yeah.
I caught myself.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
She's holding a finger up. She's like,
yeah, you watch that mouth. Don't make him do that.
But I think we had 15 reports of people coming from pretty far away, really far distances, where they brought them to Columbus. Columbus brought them down here, threw them in the system. They got out of the system, and we were basically like, okay, here's your $15 food voucher. Figure out how to get back home.
Yeah. It's broken. And I don't like
just about as much as
this
elevators at Buckeye
I'm going to get on a little Craycraft Express rant. Fair warning.
Go.
I do not like when politicians say it's a national problem. Well, I don't care that it's a national problem. You're elected to fix problems in the city of Portsmouth and the county of Scioto. So it's a cop-out. It is a bad politician to say, well, it's a nationwide problem. Let's clean our hands of it because it's too big to conquer. It's too big to fix.
Can we ask him if they're a stupid person?
No, we can't. We can't do that. That would be rude. But I can.
A lot of the national problems are because of politicians.
Oh yeah, Sin's waving her hand. Let's bring her.
I can see her over there. Just
bless her heart. Yeah, let's do this.
For the love of God, as a former carryout clerk while I was in college, stop dropping people off at Speedway. Now, you'll remember at one point, Speedway corporate actually called the Portsmouth police, and were like, Speedway's corporate security, why are you doing this to us? Why are all these people turning up at our store, harassing our clerks, bothering our customers, ODing in our bathroom? Is there something you can do about this? And the Portsmouth police, the log said, well, we told them we got a lot of rehab centers. We got a lot of problems. We really can't do anything about all these people coming on the lot. And then I look at all these police and sheriff's calls where they just oh, we got to get rid of this guy. I'll take him to Speedway. I mean, why Speedway? What's at the Speedway? What did these poor gas station clerks ever do to deserve you to just drop every troublesome person you can find off in their parking lot? It's bad enough they're already close to the hotel that they send you to after they kick you out of the homeless shelter, the big homeless camp, with just like the second largest housing development in the county under the viaduct, and them and the poor people at Kroger. What did the poor clerks at Kroger do that they deserve people to pick up all these troublesome people and drop them in their parking lot? I mean, I know you don't want to handle them, but why do you think like this minimum wage clerk is somehow equipped to do it? Don't.
Okay, Austin, go ahead. You're etching.
Okay. I used to work at the Clark's gas station next to McDonald's here in Portsmouth.
Oh.
I was a night shift. I went in at 10, 11 o'clock at night. I'd be there until 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. And I don't know how many times I watched a black Crown Vic or a marked police car pull up. The cop would get out, open the back door. Somebody would get out, and the cop would get back in the car and pull off. And they would walk in and be like, "Can I use your phone? They just left me here."
They still do it. They do it all the time. And every time I see that, I'm like, why are you doing this to carry out clerks? Take them to your police. Why don't you go jump them off in front of the jail? Oh, because you don't want them there. I mean, at least take them to the post office. There's people like setting up housekeeping there and tying the door shut, stealing furniture to put their living room in there.
Oh, you just gave them an idea. Put them on federal property where it's inside.
Do you remember the lady? And bless her heart, she's got terrible mental problems. She's one of the ones who would be in a residential facility. She stole outdoor patio furniture from restaurants, took it to her house at the post office, pushed it in her cart, was setting up housekeeping and tied the door shut to keep the cops out.
It's true. That was a great story. I'm sorry for the local businesses. We remember. It was the Lofts. Speaking of the Lost Coffee, it was furniture from the Lofts. Yeah. So she took the good shit, right, and then she takes it over to the post office and sets her up a nice little apartment in the lobby of the post office. That's awesome. Kind of, if you're in that position.
Honestly, I had wondered if she was the one that took the political bench. Maybe she wanted a sofa.
If she had help, she could get a couple of guys, and we're going to put a sofa on. We got these cushions, and we can put them on there. Oh man, that'll be great. They can't move that. They can't move us out like that. What do you think, Austin? He's like, it's getting too much. He's got his head in his hand.
Just the fact that she was just like, all right, well, I'm just going to set up right here.
She did. That's true.
At least she went to one of the most expensive restaurants in town and was just like, let me just take that.
Yeah, she was getting the good shit. Yeah, she wasn't. No, man. It wasn't no back alley furniture for her, man.
Oh, no.
She was going for the good stuff. Oh, my goodness. We sure appreciate everybody watching the SCDN After Hours podcast. I think we have one more thing. That's normally the sign that we have three more things, but I think we have one more thing. Oh, you've got a thing on your list. Okay, we got one more thing before we let our wonderful Sin Mackley go and enjoy her Saturday night. And we so appreciate everything she does, not only for our company but for the community. She's an award-winning writer, and she's doing so much. She told us recently about a book tour that she was a part of. So really, we really appreciate her so much. So we want to bring her back on for one last bit here. I think she wanted to talk about. And Sin, it was about an hour ago we had this conversation and I've lost it. So remind me what we are going to talk about.
We were talking about Ohio prison inmate. They soaked a copy of a book written by the vice president in fentanyl and mailed it to him in prison.
I got the article. Yes. Let me bring that up. Okay, so tell us about this.
Well, they soaked a copy, I guess it was a copy of Hillbilly Elegy, which is a book J.D. Vance wrote about the impact of the opioid drug crisis on his family and on Ohio and the area. And they gave that a good soaking in fentanyl and mailed it to an inmate at a prison in Ohio. And they got like a recording where the guy's talking about like the book and all that, except he didn't know what the book was about. So it helped that they know, but they just like took a novel and totally soaked it in fentanyl. But I thought like it was creative soaking a novel about drug crisis in drugs. But they did catch him and he thought it was a romance. So they kind of knew he hadn't been reading it. And they had actually got into the prison, but I had talked to some people that work at Lucasville that told me that's a huge problem and that the inmates had been soaking what was called legal mail, which is things that they're not allowed to confiscate. They have to give you mail from your lawyer, mail that has to do about your case, but they started making photocopies of it instead of giving them the actual mail. And it cut the overdose rate among prisoners by like 60%. But the reason that stuck in my mind was that was like a part of the plot in my most recent book. People soaking things in fentanyl to send to prisoners. And I'm like, oh, they're reading my books.
I'm telling you. And Austin's losing it. Go ahead.
I'm just thinking on what kind of romance novel can something that's called Hillbilly Elegy be? Should we get a banjo?
Well, I mean, hey, there's some good music. Don't mess with the songwriter here. I can bring you some Appalachia. She can write you stories and wonderful novels about Appalachia, and I can create some of the most beautiful Appalachian music. I'm very proud of it, and it's a blessing and a gift that only comes from the Lord, and that is for you too, Sin.
My brain is just thinking if that was a love novel, by the 4th or 5th book, it's going to be Wrong Turn. They're going to get copywritten. I mean...
Wrong Turn. That was a good movie, too.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. Because there was the essay scene, and I didn't finish any of them. Every time there's an essay scene in any kind of movie, I will not finish it. I'll get there and I'll be done.
That's fair enough. All right, Sin, do you have... I saw you starting there.
I hate to break it to him, but there's like there's so many weird genres of books. There's even like dinosaur erotica. I mean, it is scary. So you just don't want to go searching around for that stuff. You just get traumatized.
He fell out. I don't want to do the echo, but he fell out as soon as you said dinosaur erotica. He went, rawr.
I have a podcast, and I don't want to say I accidentally had somebody on, but I had usually have mystery writers, but I had a friend of mine who's a romance writer, and I let her invite a couple of friends. She started telling me what her books are about, and they're like North Pole erotica about elves. And she starts talking what her books are about. And I mean, I did tell her we're online, you can cuss if you want to. And I just glaze over because we're live when she starts describing what these books are about. And I'm like, and I read police reports, Mark. Hundreds of police reports. And I was like, I didn't know what to say.
Oh, God.
Austin said, while you were talking, he said 50 Shades of Elves.
Honestly, yeah. Only actually the way she was describing it, it was a little more explicit than that. And I'm just like looking for, oh, please, people, no, not my cozy mystery readers. No, cover your ears, cover your eyes. I'm so sorry.
Oh, man, that is crazy. Y'all people weird. I don't even know what normal is.
Don't yuck somebody's yum.
Huh?
I am yucking all over that yum. Yuck.
That's probably a...
Oh, okay. Sin Mackley, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And maybe we can do this again. This was a lot of fun. And I'm going to give you the last word. So I'm going to mute myself and I'm going to give you the last word and let you go.
I guess my last word is please don't be mad at me if your friends and family members are indicted and we publish it. It wasn't our idea to indict them. We had nothing to do with it. Nothing.
That's perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Oh, that was Sin Mackley. Man, did we have fun with that. You said 50 Shades of
Toy Shop.
Oh, my goodness. So, Austin had that homework, and he's still got a couple of things.
I have one more thing that I
One
want to
more
go over.
thing. Okay.
Because the other one, it's another thing about Trump and Epstein, and I'm not diving in that rabbit hole. No.
You're not getting in that hole.
No. Well, we will a little. Basically, how messed up do you got to be for Epstein to say you have no morals?
Where's that? Cite the source. Where's this happening?
So, allegedly from Facebook.
Allegedly.
I'm
going to show you the shirt. I've got the shirt.
This was on Daily Mail today.
Okay. UK Daily Mail.
2017, there was an email between Epstein and the Secretary of Treasury about Trump. So this was like right when he first started and he basically told the secretary that Trump was manic, a danger to society, out of touch with the world, and had no morals.
Hey, that's a tough one. But you got to remember that Trump and Epstein, though they were friends for a long time, Trump was a Democrat. So he was friends with Bill and Hillary and all that kind of stuff. Don't even get me started on the, no, not there. We're not going there right now.
So
but what I'm saying is that him and Epstein got in a huge fight, and some say it was over real estate, some was over recruiting girls from his club, and they got a big fight, and they didn't talk for a long time, so they had a lot of animus between them. So do you think this was Epstein being honest, or was this Epstein after the fight and after years of cold shoulder between these two, that he just wanted to talk some shit?
It may be petty honesty, honestly.
Petty honesty? Is that a thing? Is that a word?
Well, when you get mad enough at somebody,
right,
you're gonna spill the truth out of anger. It might just be petty honesty there.
You learned a new phrase, petty honesty. That's so good, I'm gonna put it on the screen. That way you can all start to use it. It's a brand new term. Petty.
I mean, everybody has done that thing where they're mad at somebody, so they tell the truth about something just out of anger.
Yeah.
That's petty honesty.
Here we go. We need music. Yeah. Petty honesty. Petty honesty. A new word by Austin. Give us a definition and use it in a sentence.
Oh no, I got accused of that. That's not a new word for me. That's a word from my grandmother.
Really? All right. Shout out to Grandma.
Oh yeah.
Define the word. Use it in a sentence.
Oh, when I would get mad at my brother, I would be like, Grandma, he broke something in the room 3 weeks ago.
Oh. So we would call you throwing somebody under the bus just because you're in trouble now. You're throwing up crap from later.
Petty honesty.
Petty honesty. There you go, folks. I want to hear it in your lexicon. It'll pop up in a government meeting. Some school board somewhere is going to be. This is some petty honesty, isn't it? I mean, we're dealing with today. We're not dealing with 5 years ago.
Or
And-
2017.
Or 2017. Yeah. Oh my good. Petty honesty, right
And-
there it is.
The last thing I have, it's more on a sad note. That's why I left it for last.
Sad. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Let's end on a sad note.
Yeah, so it was about the fires, and I actually brought it up here. The fire in, I think it was Hong Kong.
Yes.
This looks like a photo of hell on earth.
Did you send that? You sent that to me, didn't you?
I believe so, but I'll just show you this here.
Put it up in the camera. See if we can get it on camera.
This is just one of the photos of this that's going on right now, and I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It comes in good.
So this property has like 8 or 9 of these buildings in an egg shape. And they said, I think it was 5 of them caught on fire. It took, from what the reports say, it took 2,300 firefighters to extinguish the fire. 128 people have been confirmed dead, and 200 are still missing.
That's crazy, man.
And that was as of earlier, just a few hours ago.
First thing that came to my mind, did the buildings collapse?
No. The other thing, there was a fire.
Hey, I'm just telling you, I'm putting it out there. A lot of fires, a lot of big fires, but this is the most recent. That's a hell of a fire. No buildings fell down.
The other thing was there was a firefighter in this that lost their life, and they were to be married next month.
Oh, geez, human
And
interest. Here we go.
From what it said is that he had severe burns and he was still on the first floor. He hadn't even
gone up yet.
No,
because it gets hotter up. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh! And to be married soon.
he was
This month, next month, something
next
like
month.
that. And how many missing? Hundreds? A couple hundred?
200 missing as of now. Well, as of earlier, just a few hours ago, and 128 already confirmed dead.
That's terrible. That
There
is
was
terrible.
people who live in the towers that were sitting there watching it, and there was a lady who was on a news report who said she doesn't know where her husband or daughter is, but she did already get confirmation that her neighbors all passed.
And the pets.
This is one of the reasons why we're so damn strict when it comes to high rises, because tragedies like this, these buildings are massive and they're designed because Hong Kong is so packed.
Right.
Instead of being able to build out, they build up.
Same as New York, right?
Yeah.
You don't do it. Everybody lives in a part. Even the millionaire TV freaking stupid news broadcasters that just read shit for a living, they live in apartments,
And
condominiums.
I'm trying to find the overview because it's actually a really massive complex. Like you can see, I know they can't, but you can see how big those buildings are.
Yeah, you can
They
show
are-
that on the camera.
I would
They'll
say
pick it
these
up.
buildings are like 30, 40 stories high. And like,
There it is.
they're massive. And
Yeah.
Buckeye,
It's crazy.
Buckeye Towers has what, 120 units?
Yeah.
Just imagine how many units are in one of
God.
those buildings.
Nah,
And it was
geez.
like 6 or 7 of the buildings.
We cannot have that.
And that many deaths.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. So to offset that, I got to do this again. Here we
In
go.
Washington, D.C. U.S. officials say that the suspect worked very closely with the CIA in Afghanistan for years, that he was vetted, and the vetting came up clean.
He went cuckoo. I mean, he went nuts. And that happens, too. It happens too often with these people. You see them. But look, this is how they come in. This is how they're standing on top of each other. And that's an airplane. There was no vetting or anything. They came in unvetted. And we have a lot of others in this country. We're going to get them out. But they go cuckoo. Something happens to them.
Your DOJ IG just reported this year that there was thorough vetting by DHS and by the FBI of these Afghans who were brought into the U.S. So why do you blame the Biden administration?
Because they let them in. Are you stupid? Are you a stupid person? Because they came on a plane along with thousands of other people that shouldn't be here, and you're just asking questions because you're a stupid person.
That reminds me of when I got in the argument with the Crabtree brothers during the primary a few years ago. That's what I should. I took them out. I took them out of the race in one argument, and that's the one time I could have said, "What are you, stupid? Are you a stupid person?" I didn't say those exact words, but boy, oh my goodness.
Another thing, totally off topic on that, we're in the area. We're expecting 1 to 4 inches of snow by Sunday.
1 to 4 inches of snow. I got things to do, and it does not. That explains why I got a message today from the guy that shoveled our snow last year.
He's preparing.
He
He's like,
must have seen
let
the
me
same
hit up
thing you
these
saw.
last year customers.
Yeah. And the guy shoveled our snow. He just randomly comes up in and is like, "Hey, you want us to shovel your snow again this year?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks for thinking of me. That's cool."
Now you know why.
Now I know why. I had no idea. I just thought, what a sweet man.
No, he's just checking on his priorities.
Yeah.
Let me go get that money.
Oh man, I tell you what, we appreciate everybody watching SCDN After Hours. We have a lot of fun putting this together. We hope we bring some entertainment, some value, some education on petty honesty, and yeah. And we're gonna be here again next.
So I have that put on the shirt as well.
Next year, we'll say that next week, I think.
Should we have it put on the shirt as well? I know we're doing the After Hours shirt with the lights, camera, fuckery down the back.
Right.
Sorry. For her.
Yeah, we weren't supposed to tell what was on the back.
But yeah, I'm gonna have that petty honesty putting on the other side.
Petty honesty. I love it. We'll add that to the shop. I've been designing shirts. We're gonna have all kinds. Every kind of shirt. Funny, cute, beautiful, and the allegedly line will be a separate part of that. But we're designing a bunch of stuff right now, and I got a shout out to our designers, and one of them's me, but I can't do it alone because we're building out fast and furious. So petty honesty. I think
I feel like I would wear a shirt that says petty honesty across the chest.
All right, thou shalt be done. Tonight we'll have a I got to spell it right first. Petty honesty shirt. We'll add that to the store, and we'll sell it to you. We're not trying to get in on Christmas stuff, so I know we're not going to make it in time for Christmas. This is anytime. This is anytime good. So be looking for that, and we'll let you know when we get it fully launched. It's up and running now, but we've only got like 17 products on it, and I'm waiting to make sure it's big and nice and beautiful before I release it and show you a preview even before it goes live. Any last words?
No.
This guy always has last words. As soon as we go off air, he's going to have a bunch of last words.
Yeah, that's for next week.
Oh, it's for next week. Okay. All right. Well, we're looking forward to it. We sure appreciate it. This has been SCDN After Hours, and we sure thank you so much. You guys have a
Pass the light around, my friend. Don't hide it when it shines. One little jar turns the dark to gold. Warms the young and heals the old. Warms the young and heals the old. Pass the light